Hi, this is the podcast where we seek to have a faith that thinks and a study that transforms our lives. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for joining us. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today is episode 2 in our Jonah series, where we use one book and look at it through 5 different lenses, 5 different Bible study methods. It's the same text, but it's a different lens. Yes, we're reading Jonah again, not to change the story, but to notice what we didn't see before. Today, we're using a different way of reading. We're not asking which one is right. We're asking what each one reveals. So that we slow down, we pay attention, and we let the text stay the same while our perspective shifts. Let's begin. Most of us were taught Jonah as a sequence of events. God speaks, Jonah runs. There's a storm, there's a fish. Jonah gets spit out, he preaches. Nineveh repents, Jonah gets angry. When we read it that way, it feels like a series of dramatic moments, loosely connected. That's not how this story works. Jonah is not random. It's design. Every movement is intentional. Every repetition is doing something. Every shift is carrying meaning. So instead of asking what happens next, we're asking, why is it arranged this way? Because in a story like this, meaning doesn't just live in the events. It lives in the movement between them. Once you start reading Jonah this way, you realize the story has been guiding you the whole time. Today, we're looking at the Literary-Theological Method, which is reading Jonah as a designed story. One of the first things you notice is direction. Jonah keeps going down. Have you noticed that? He goes down to Joppa, down into the ship, down into the inner part of the ship, and eventually down into the sea. That's not accidental. It's not just geography. It's meaning. His physical descent mirrors his internal resistance. He's not just running away. He's moving out of alignment. And the story keeps emphasizing it, step by step. Down, further down, and further still. Until something interrupts it. The fish. But even that isn't just a dramatic rescue moment. It's a turning point. The downward movement stops. And from there, the direction begins to shift. Jonah is brought back. Jonah speaks. The city responds. So now the movement is different. Not down, but up. And layered into that is a broader structure. Flight, confrontation, revelation. Jonah runs, God interrupts, and then the real issue is exposed. And here's what matters. The story is not building toward the fish. It's building toward what gets revealed at the end. Now, this is where the story sharpens. Because Jonah is full of irony. Not subtle irony. Deliberate, uncomfortable reversal. The prophet disobeys. The sailors respond with reverence. Jonah runs from God. The sailors pray to him. Jonah is asleep in rebellion. The sailors are awake, trying to understand what God is doing. And then, Jonah finally obeys. He goes to Nineveh. He speaks the message. And the entire city repents. Immediately. No resistance, no argument, no delay. They respond faster than Jonah ever did. And Jonah's response? He was angry. That's the turn. And that's where the story shifts from behavior to the heart. Because now the question isn't, why won't Jonah obey? It's, why does Jonah resist mercy? And the irony forces us to sit there in that uncomfortable moment of dissonance. The people we expect to resist respond. The one who knows God struggles with what God is doing. And suddenly, the story is not where we thought it was going. Most people think the center of Jonah is the fish. It's the most memorable moment for sure. But it's not the climax. The real center is Jonah chapter 4. Because that's where everything is finally said out loud. We finally say the quiet part out loud. Jonah is angry. Not because God judged Nineveh, but because he didn't. And then Jonah says something very revealing. He says, in essence, I knew this is who you are. I knew you would be compassionate. I knew you would show mercy. And that's the moment. Jonah isn't confused about God. He disagrees with him. And God responds. And not with punishment, with a question. Should I not care about Nineveh? That's the question. That's the weight of the entire book. Because now the issue is clear. This is not just about obedience. It's about alignment. Alignment with God's heart. So when you read Jonah this way, do you see how everything shifts? This is not mainly a story about following rules, avoiding consequences, or correcting behavior. It's about something deeper. Resistance to mercy. Jonah can obey outwardly and still resist inwardly. He can speak the message and still reject the outcome. And that's what this story is exposing. Because it is possible to know what God says, do what God asks, and still not want what God wants. And Jonah places that tension right in front of us. The story is not just telling you what happened. It's shaping how you see God and how you see yourself in relation to Him and what He wants. So now, the question shifts. Not, what's the lesson? But what is this story trying to reshape in me? How do I see mercy? Who do I think mercy is for? Where do I quietly resist it? Because Jonah isn't just revealing a prophet. It's revealing a pattern. And if we're honest, it's not a distant one. I want you to go back through Jonah this week. Read it again with this lens. And then think about and be honest. Jonah was bold enough and brave enough to be honest with God. Almost arrogantly, you know who God is. You know He is compassionate. But is there anywhere where you know He is compassionate that you're upset about? Is there anyone you believe doesn't deserve mercy? What's the quiet part that you're not saying out loud? That's what Jonah can reveal in you. So go through that book this week. Really dig through it and apply some self-reflection and honesty. God already knows your heart. He's trying to get you to be honest about it. So that's the Literary-Theological Method. Looking at the movement, the literary devices, the patterns, and then using reflection to see how it can theologically shape your belief system in your life. So that's week 2. The same text, a different lens. Today we saw something we may have missed before. No single reading can give us everything, but each one gives us something worth noticing. And that goal isn't to finish the text. It's to stay formed by it as we learn to see more clearly. We'll pick up the same story again next week with a different lens. And remember, what felt like destruction was actually salvation. This is M.